Angikuni Village, Canada. Angikuni Lake is a lake in Kavalik Region, Nunavut, Canada. It is one of the several lakes located along the Kazan River, and next to it used to be a recorded village. In 1930, a newsman in the Pass, Manitoba, reported on a small Inuit village right off the lake of Angikuni. The village had always welcomed fur trappers who passed through occasionally. One of them, Jola Bell, well known in the village, found that all the villagers had gone missing one day. What he found was unfinished shirts that still had needles in them, food hanging over fire pits, and even more disturbing, he found seven sled dogs dead from starvation and a grave that had been dug up. Wabel knew that an animal could not have been responsible because the stones circulating the grave were undisturbed. Reported this to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who conducted a research for the missing people, but no one was ever found. The urban legend was recorded by Frank Edwards in his book, but later the Royal Canadian Mounted Police dismissed the case, arguing that no such claims as a large village near the lake were ever found, and there was no record of any unusual activity in the area. Bumaucha village, Bulgaria. Bumaucha is located in the Balkan Mountains above Balkovsky near Teteven. It's depopulated and not a single person lives there today. The thing is that people here left it literally in one day, and there is still no logical explanation for all of it. The village was settled about 200 years ago. A shepherd named Maucho used to live there, and when the Turks were passed by, they would say Bu Maucho, translated into Here is Maucho. And this is where the name of the village, Bumaucha, actually comes from. In 1964, its residents suddenly left, leaving all their household goods behind. Children's toys, beds covered with sheets, and tables preparing for dinner. Pots still left cooking on the stoves. All chests filled with quilts and blankets were also found. There are also calendars on the walls which are from the 1964 year. To this day, sinister legends are spread about the reasons for the residents' departure. A local shepherd who lives near the village today declared that strange things started happening. Children and women started getting sick, animals were also dying. A strange disease killed half of the village's inhabitants. A doctor from the village assumed that the disease was reminiscent of the Black Plague. To save themselves, the people decided to flee. During the dark winter nights, when the moon was covered by clouds, a strong wind would start and mysterious sounds would be heard from the outside. What was even scarier was that there would be knocking on the doors of the houses and strange silhouettes would be appearing in the windows. Araromi Oke Village, Nigeria. In the heart of the southwestern Nigeria, among the Yoruba people, one story has continued to stir wonder and unease for decades. It is the tale of the Araromi Oke, a village said to have vanished without a trace in 1957. According to those who retell the tale, one morning neighbors entered the community and found silence where life had once thrived. Houses stood firm, food was still cooking on the fire, palm wine rested fresh in the glasses, and only a single goat wandered aimlessly toward the empty square. There were no footprints, no signs of struggle, and no explanation of what had happened. The people of Araromi Oke had been taken by something unseen. According to one version, the villagers had broken an ancient covenant with Ogun, the Yoruba god of iron and war. The god's wrath swallowed them whole. Another version claimed that the town was built on forbidden ground, and when the people ignored the warnings of the elders, the earth opened and took them and closed back again without any trace whatsoever. Fact checkers have explored the story in detail. A report by the Post Nigeria on August 18, 2025, concluded that there is no credible evidence of any Yoruba village vanishing overnight in 1957. No colonial records, no state documents, and no official investigations have ever mentioned a disappearance. An independent review by Eagles Foresight on August 21, 2025, supported this conclusion, describing the tale as an online and oral tradition without historical backing. The only records that exist are forum discussions, blog retellings, and a word of mouth stories, and no formal reports. Kudhara Village, India. Until the early 1800s, Kudhara was a prestigious village, but legend says that after some unfathomable tragedy, the town was abandoned one night. There is no known reason for the mass exodus, but since then no one has been able to settle there. Both the history and the many stories of how a town of almost 1,000 residents simply just vanished, making it such an enduring mystery. Kunhara village was established around the 13th century by the Palivao Bahmins, a prosperous community of farmers and traders who migrated from Pali. They had developed a unique system of farming which allowed them to grow crops in the unforgivable desert. They built prosperous settlements with many beautiful temples and open houses. However, despite their flourishing community, in the early 19th century the entire population suddenly abandoned Kudhara village and the neighboring villages for unknown reasons. Why the community abandoned Kudhara is still a mystery, and the village remains barren to this day with only local stories to explain why. The locals tell of a dark chapter unfolding in the 19th century when Salim Singh, the powerful debauched prime minister of the state, known for his immoral and revenge driven acts, developed an illicit desire for the daughter of the village head. Determined to have her, he threatened the villagers with great consequences if they dared to oppose him. Unwilling to submit to his demands and fearing his wrath, the entire village fled one night, leaving behind their homes and possessions. In 2024, the government decided to take steps to restore and preserve the historical architecture of Kudhara village, and now is a protected monument under the State Archaeological Department and the Archaeological Survey of India. Conservation efforts include stabilizing structures and safeguarding the site from further deterioration. Visitor facilities and a folk dance performance area are planned. The ancient village is now a popular tourist spot and attracts tourists, photographers, and movie makers drawn by its eerie reputation and legends.